All right, recording is started. Good morning, everyone. If you're just joining us, we have 56 participants on the line. 57 now. That is 43 short of 100, which is our target every single day of this week when we have these morning team calls. So let's make sure we send our texts out to our teammates and make sure that they are on the call for none other than Mr. Money Michael Huggins. Now, if you're new to the call or if you haven't heard Michael's story, man, back in the day, about 8.5, 9 years ago, Michael was just absolutely drowning in student debt. He was making monthly payments on his student debt, realized most of it was going towards interest. And he knew if he was continuing down that path, he would never be able to actually pay it off. He was working two low-wage jobs as an auto mechanic, one at Sears Auto Center, the other at Jiffy Lube, and felt like he was trapped like a dog in a cage. Had to find a way out, started looking for other income generation opportunities, and after a few failed attempts, of course, found Renatus. Was lucky enough to find Renatus just like many of us did. And he took the business very, very seriously, started doing real estate deals, started growing his team, and really plugged into the system of find the people, tell the story, build for events, and follow up. And if we fast forward to today, Michael is now a seven-figure income earner. He is the #1 income earner at Renatus, and we are just very fortunate to have him share the lessons he has learned along the way. So without further ado, I would like to bring our speaker, Mr. Money Michael Huggins, on the line. Good morning, Michael. How is your morning going today?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Abhi. So far, so great. We made an early trip to the country of Panama, so we're all out here already. And excited to start our week off with you, but let's jump into this so I can go to the beach. Oh man, and the rest of you, I know some of you will be showing up later this week, so excited to connect with you when you get out here. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. And Zoom did a little update, so we'll see if this works. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Do you copy? Oh, it works. Good. All right. Well, welcome everyone. It is Monday, August 5th, 2019. The only one you got. What are you going to do about it? Here's what I'm going to do. One, I'm going through my morning checklist. So for those of you who are brand new or you've been around for a while, here's your good reminder that successful people use habits. Use habits and routines to get what the heck they want out of life. Now, the good news about a habit is it'll work whether you're in the mood or not. Right? That's what we need. We need something that will work whether we're in the mood or not. So habits and routines. So I was sitting down with an IMA a couple weeks ago, and he wanted to know what are my morning habits. What do I do in the morning? And I asked him, and he shows me his little list, and he's banging out all these things every morning, and all he's going to do is add one more thing to the list. It says 1 hour class. 1 hour class. So his habits are going to ensure his success. He's just adding one more thing to it. So if you're not in the habit of purposeful habits, here's one key is to add one habit every 2 weeks. So let's say you decided, you had a realization and you need to change a bunch of things in your morning. And we've all done that, where we make a new list and we go, all right, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this. And because it's so new, it takes what's called activation energy. Activation energy is silly, but it's still there. So this activation energy is what gets us to do something or not to do something. And so because we have to factor in this activation energy, if you just start adding one thing and then nail that down, and then add the next thing, and then nail that down and add the next thing, you're going to see a successful habit. People who crash and burn try to do 20 new things at once, whether it's, New Year's week or it's the middle of the summer, it's their birthday week, their 1 year anniversary, something. They go, all right, I'm going to make all these changes, but then it doesn't stick. That's why it's too much activation energy. So if you add one habit a week, it'll just start to compound on itself. And then you look back a year from now and you're doing 26 new things that you weren't doing effortlessly. That's why successful people, rich get richer, poor get poorer, because what the rich are doing is they're doing it effortlessly. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. So habits are going to make us successful. Now, I have a habit. One of the things that I recommend if you don't have on your list is doing something around gratitude. I know a lot of people are waking up every day with a lot of gratitude for everything but their financial situation. They're still not grateful for that. If you just remember, gratitude is like the sun. It's the sunshine. Whatever shines on, it grows. So whatever you're grateful for will continue to grow. So even though, like, at the beginning of my Renatus career, when I still had 2 crappy jobs, and I call them crappy now, but back then I was super grateful for them because a bunch of reasons. It was helping me pay the bills, obviously, but it was also showing me I can work hard no matter what conditions. I can. It was making me grateful for. Think of it. This is what I see all the time. I see what people need to do at Renatus to be successful. Right? There's this checklist. You got to do this. You got to find the people, tell story, build for events, follow up. You got to go to events. You got to work on yourself. You got to apply the education. There's a bunch of things to be successful. Right? The checklist, the to-dos. Do this stuff and you'll make money. That list, compared to what I had to do at my other jobs, that list is so easy. But some of you have a list at your job where it's a walk in the park, and then you look at this list at Renatus and you go, what? I got to do things? I thought I just paid and I was supposed to make money. Well, at the jobs, we work super hard for peanuts. So then when I came over here and they're like, hey, by the way, if you just get on the phone and you call 10 people a week and you walk them through the process, someone's going to buy. That to-do list is so much easier than the stuff I got to do at my jobs. So I found a lot of gratitude around my jobs because they prepped me for some hard work. I know how to work hard. So I'm grateful for the hard work. But before, some people could complain about the hard work. Oh, my job is so hard. And they complain. But I found gratitude around it. And that gratitude changed my vibration, which made more people want to work with me, which grew my business, which reinforced the attitude of gratitude, which grew my business, which reinforced the attitude of gratitude. And it's like the sun, this ray of sun, just shining down on everything. So I bring this up because I want to encourage you to have a new habit of going through a gratitude exercise and just adding that on your list. Gratitude exercise. It can be as simple as 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. That's it. That's all you got to do to get your gratitude exercise going in the morning. So what else are you grateful for? Are you grateful for your job? Are you grateful for traffic? Are you grateful for your annoying boss? Are you grateful for inclement weather? Are you grateful for travel delays? Are you grateful for whatever? Find a way to be grateful for it, and then the universe will more readily open up your business to you. But if you're not grateful for your guests telling you to go to hell, if you're not grateful for the place you're renting from to double the rate, if you're not grateful for people saying one thing and doing another, it's not going to work. You got to find gratitude around everything. Attitude of gratitude. It's going to be a major key. So, what's another habit? Well, one habit that I've created is daily praise. Not I praise myself. I praise my team. I'm proud of the things my people are doing. I'm proud of them. So I praise them. So it's easy to give praise. Team members. And if you think about this, most team members, most people in America go months and months, sometimes years without praise. So you go around telling people, I'm proud of you. That is so rarely heard these days that you get a lot of mileage out of it. You know, I'm proud of people for all sorts of things, and it's never a comparison. Try not to compare. It's a really quick way to feel like crap. So when I'm praising, it's always in relation to them, never in relation to me. I'm proud of you for the things you're doing, not in relation to me. So that's going to be a lot easier to give out praise and to tell people you're proud of them. All right. So here's a little quote to go along with that. And here's what Jim Rohn said about this concept. He says, see your team better than they are. You have to see them better than they see themselves. And if you can see them better than they are, then it's really easy to tell them that you're proud of them because you can see other things. Right? See them better than they are. Don't see them for their current mistakes and shortcomings and their current accomplishments. See them for their future accomplishments. See them better than they are. You start to treat them better, and when you treat them better, people start to act into how they're treated. Okay, so see them better than they are. I guess another way of saying that is treat them better than they are. So maybe some of you know this, maybe not, but I just want to let you know that there are a couple public school systems that were experimenting with labels. Okay, these public school systems did a label experiment on their students and wanted to see how the results would change based off of the labels. Experiment. Yeah, it's this experiment. So what they did is they had 2 teachers and 2 groups of students. And what they did is they told these teachers 2 different things. This one group, they said, all right, teacher, these kids are the good and the smart kids. These are the overachiever kids. Okay, this is what they told the teacher. But what they didn't tell the teacher was all these kids were the kids who had terrible test scores and problems with attitude and authority. Some might say socially and emotionally maladjusted. Well, that's a terrible label. So anyway, they were trying to get over these labels. They got one group of kids. They told the teacher, these are the good, smart kids. And then they told this other group, this other teacher, that these are the bad, dumb kids. And what happened is the teachers, you know, doing their best, still being teachers, got a teacher spirit, still doing everything. What they started doing was they started treating the kids like the labels. And then you know what happened? the kids started acting like the labels. So here we have a group of kids. We're all worried about all the dumb kids and the bad kids. How do we make them better? Well, we started treating them like the labels, and they started acting better. But even what's crazier is that the good, smart kids, they started being treated by this teacher like they were, the not so smart and not so well-adjusted kids. And they started acting out and getting worse scores. Their scores went down, their attitudes went down, where these went up. Or, you know what I'm saying? The kids that were labeled, even though they were already smart, they were told they were dumb, started treated like they were dumb. So their test scores over the years started getting worse and worse and worse. So it's no longer just a good business practice to treat people like that. It's everybody. Everybody starts acting like they're being treated. So I would treat you like independent business owners. I treat you like badass millionaires. I treat you like responsible adults. What a concept. Some of you aren't ready for it. So you're not quite achieving what you want to achieve. But this is part of it. So if you start treating your prospects like they're doing, like they're your clients instead of a lead, you start treating them like they're your students instead of a suspect, then they're going to start acting like your students. They're going to start asking questions like your students or your customers. And so it's a big part of what we're doing here. We start treating people how we want them to act instead of treating them like they're acting. It's hard because a jerk you want to punch in the face. But no, if you treat them like a jerk, they're just going to keep being a jerk. You got to treat them like a patient person, treat them like a coachable person. And you say, you know what? I noticed your coachability right there. I'm proud of you for being coachable in that moment. And then you throw in some, I'm proud of you. And then they're like, what? You're proud of me for what? And you're like, well, I'm just proud of you for being coachable. And then because you tell them they're coachable, you like it, they're coachable, they start acting more coachable. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing. You got all these people taking action in their business. And because you're part of it, your business grows, you thrive. It's a triple win for everybody. It's powerful. We got scientific evidence to prove that people will act into their labels. So you need to start labeling yourself as a business owner, as a badass, as a smart person, as a coachable person, as a magnetic person. And people will start treating you like it. Treat yourself like it. You start acting like it. It's all built in. Everyone starts acting like they are treated. Treat them like how you want them to act. Nailed it. So some of you are surprised at how I treat you, but maybe this explains a little bit more of why I'm doing it. Right? I'm not your boss. If I started acting like your boss and treated you like I'm your boss, then dang it, every time a decision needs to be made, you're going to come to me. But instead, I just remind you, you're your own boss. You're smart enough. Here we are in America. Make your own decisions. And now I got all these top producers on my team out here making their own decisions, making sales, making money, growing teams. And making coffee. So another thing I'd like you to add to your morning to-do list, since we got things and stuff to add, here's another thing to add, is the self-confidence formula. The self-confidence formula by Napoleon Hill. So I recently re-added that to my morning to-do list. It has just been ingrained as a habit for so long that I was being passive about it, so now I'm starting to be active about it. So the self-confidence formula. There's one thing that I changed on there just because it's a double negative, so I just changed it to a positive, no big deal. But I'm going to read it to you real quick, and then I want you guys to go print it off on your, post it somewhere, write it out somewhere. In fact, I think I can post my modified version here. Self-confidence formula. Here we go. Here we are. I'm just going to drop it into the Dropbox. Oh, wait. Would you look at that? That doesn't help, though. I need to put it into the... There we go. Okay, so I'm going to post it and then read it to you. And here's the key. The way you're reading it matters. You can't just
get your tummy in the morning.
sit back idly and do this. You got to be all up in it. So here we go. Hold on 1 second. There we go. There we go. We're jumping in. Stand by, guys. Okay, copy, paste. What? It's not letting me do it. Copy. Oh, I know it. Character limit. Paste. First half. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, I put it in 3 texts, so you should be able to grab and go. Okay, here's how it goes. So in the morning, loud and proud, you have to say this out loud or I'm going to make fun of you because saying it to yourself quietly doesn't work. Also, when I get really excited, I sneeze. I'm excited. Okay, here's how it goes. First, and so you're going to say this in front of your mirror, or you're going to say this. It doesn't matter. You don't have to say it in front of your mirror. But you're going to read it. You're going to say it out loud. You're going to stand up. Okay. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand myself continuous action towards its attainment, and I here now promise to render such action. You realize that the first thing you're saying is you are promising that you're going to do what's necessary to get what you want. Second, I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. So we're going to sit back, we're going to think, we're going to clarify, who am I wanting to become? How will I handle this moment and this moment? Who am I intending to become? I will think of that person I intend to become and create a clear mental picture of that person. Okay, so second, I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves into physical reality. So whatever you think about, you bring about. So what we want to bring about is a clear mental picture of the person we intend to become. Third, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. So 10 minutes every day, I'm demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. I'm going to do this. I could do this. You're confident. I got this. We got this. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Ain't nothing but a peanut. Lightweight. Everything. We're just developing our self-confidence. how I talk to myself, however you want to talk to yourself. But for 10 minutes, we're going to devote to developing self-confidence. That's it, simple 10 minutes. Fourth, I've clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will always take action until I've developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Fifth, and this is important here, I fully realize that wealth and position can long endure when built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will only engage in transactions which benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I've eliminated hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism, and I've developed a love for all of humanity because I know that a positive attitude will always bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I believe in them and in myself. Ooh, that's powerful. And then we wrap it up with this. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith. It will gradually influence my thoughts and actions, so I will become a self-reliant and successful person. Oh yeah. Every day. Every day. Part of our daily habits, routines, success habits. Not that hard. Right, but some people will be like, but Michael, you don't understand my schedule. You don't understand my schedule. It doesn't allow for 2 minutes of talking to myself. Well, if that's the world that you live in, it sucks for you. But seriously, if you want to make it happen, you're just going to make it happen. Now I'm going to add maybe this. No. I want to just type it in. Oh, like that. Okay. What happened? Here we go. Ta-da. There it is. Okay, here's something else if we want to get into a little more of the feelings about things and stuff. Check this out. I believe that I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me at the time and in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render for it. I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow that plan when it is received. Okay, so what this is saying is sell combos, earn $10,000. Right, so this money, I can see it, I can touch it. It's now awaiting the transfer to me at the time and in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render for it. Well, what's the service you intend to render? Selling combos. That's what we do here. Okay, we that's what we do here. Yeah, we do two things. One, we do real estate investing because we're students of the best system. And then we also sell the system, sell the combos, make the money. So you deserve it only because you've delivered the service that is in proportion to the money that you're earning. Okay, so we've got to fix this mindset. A lot of people are still thinking that they should get paid because they brought guests, or they should get paid because they did a one-on-one. They should get paid because they brought people to an intensive. But no, you get paid with the complete process. This is the service that we're rendering to Bob Snyder and the service that we're rendering to the customer. It's two services in one. That's why we get paid so much. This is a service to Bob Snyder, finding a customer. This is a service to the customer, finding a financial system. So we're rendering this service. That's why you get paid. Okay? And it's at the time and in proportion to the service rendered. So if you don't sell any combos, if you don't put any students in, even if you run those people through 5, 10, 15 different events, you got their order in the system, but if you don't get the funding, it's still not service. So no pay for you. So one thing that I did to help with my belief system, I don't know if this is compliant or not, so forgive me if it's not, but what I did is I asked an IMA who just got a $10,000 check if I could hold the money. I wanted to see what $10,000 felt like. It doesn't feel like anything, by the way. Like, it is such a small amount. If it's all in hundreds, it's like as thin as your phone. Like, look at your phone. There's 10 grand, just sitting in 100. That's it. It's not even a stack. I'm talking about stacking dough. It's not even a stack. But anyway, to go to get the feeling and like really bring this into place, I wanted to feel what it was like. I wanted to touch it. So I said, hey man, the next time you get a $10,000 check, I want to go to the bank with you and you cash it. I want to feel it. So I went, I followed him, he did it. And then, you know, after I felt it, I closed my eyes. I like weighed it out. You know, you're like weighing stuff. You're like kind of tossing it in your hand. You're like, okay, this is what $10,000 feels like in $100 bills. This is what it feels like. This is normal for me. I put it in my pocket. Yep, I moved around. I'm like, oh, this is what it feels like to have $10,000 in my pocket. Right? I put it in my front pocket, my back pocket, put it in my breast pocket. I feel it. This is what it feels like now. This is normal. And I started telling myself, this is normal. This is normal. I should normally have 10 grand just sitting in my pocket like this. This is normal. I'm used to this. I'm used to this. And it just started getting more and more normal, like I said. Then I started goofing around and with this whole touch it, right? So then when I got my own $10,000 checks, I would get it in different currencies. Sometimes you got to be patient with the banks. I wanted to see what it would be like to have $10,000 in $2 bills. So, you know, here I am. I'm sitting at the table, right? Sitting at the table here. La mesa. I got my monies. You know what? I should do a different color for my table. I have a blue table. Okay, so I'm sitting at the table, and the $10,000 seriously just looks like that. One little stack of bills. But the $2 bills was a stack like that. So then I just started goofing around, and I would pick that up and hold it and throw it around and put it in a big old Ziploc baggie. $2 bills. This is what it felt like versus the $100 bills. It's still the same amount of money. So I just wanted to see what it would feel like, what it would, what the dimensions were, what it smelled like, everything. And then I went and put it in the bank because nobody walks around with $2 bills. But that little exercise just reinforced what it felt like to have more of the money. So, and we're on the topic of money. Now what I do is I have all different types of bills called my money friends. And my money friends, they're just my friends. So it's the 1, the 2, the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50, and the 100. I just carry one of each of them in my wallet. They just hang out. They're just part of what we're doing. And when I go to a different country, I get one of each of these of the other country's currencies. So now I'm racking up the Balboas here in Panama. But anyway, all of this is so that I can relate with money easier, so it doesn't seem foreign. It doesn't seem weird or like I don't deserve it. So it's just constantly around me, and that's part of the habits. The self-confidence formula and the affirmations around the money. It's just part of the success habits that we do in the morning. So you're like, cool, I want to do all this stuff. Great, we'll add one habit at a time. Now, all of you need to find your habit of this gratitude, because some of you are complaining about the very thing that's going to help you the most. And complaining is the opposite of attracting. Right? We have our gratitude, attitude of gratitude. It's like a magnetic beam, right? It's like a magnet. This is my magnet drawing, right? It's got a little wiggly magnet waves. And this is your monies. This is your happy experiences, right? Your memories. Your gratitude is magnetizing you to it. But at the same time of you expressing gratitude and desire and hope and wish for it, at the same time, you know what you're doing? You are pushing that shit away with your complaining. At the same time you think you're being clever, or, oh, I'm just being sarcastic, I don't mean it, but you're complaining nonetheless, whether you're trying to be clever or silly or sarcastic, right? These people walk around with these shirts. Sarcasm, I deliver sarcasm once a day, blah, blah, blah. Sarcasm, one of my many skills. Okay, I could guess that person's bank balance, right? With the kind of shirt they're wearing and that, right? So none of these things are helpful. Complaining isn't helpful. Complaining repels. Dun, dun, dun. It repels. Another way of saying that is it's repulsive. Ew. You don't want to be repulsive, do you? Gross. Well, complaining is just that. It's repulsive. It repels. Attitude of gratitude attracts, attractive, or repulsive. It's up to you. So no need to complain. Shut your mouth. All right, some of you, if it's hard to find gratitude for these certain things, then just shut your mouth. That's fine. Just become silent. So here's how this works. So we're going off this attitude of gratitude, right? This self-confidence formula, the money friends, adding in a habit. Gratitude. So we're putting out this magnetic energy. I want to get it. I want it. Attitude starts bringing us closer. Complaining starts pushing it away. I just want to talk about gratitude for a second. So I guess that's all I wanted to say. When you add on one habit a week, okay, and we're going to just add this habit of the self-confidence formula for now, or the gratitude for now, pick one. There was something I was going to say about this, and I got all wrapped up in drawing a magnet. Oh. Well, this goes right along with the self-confidence formula, because right down here at the end it says, I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use in the cooperation of other people. Right? It's about attracting. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. See, this attitude of I'm willing to serve others before I get paid is why it's going to work. In the old employee brain, right? An employee wants to be paid, and then they'll go and work. But here we're saying I induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. So I'm already here, ready to serve my customer before I even meet them. I'm ready and willing to serve them. And so then they're willing to serve me. It's just this vibration, this attitude that we're putting off here, this gratitude is what's ultimately going to bring you what you want. This attitude, so attractive. There was something else I wanted to bring up about It's attitude of gratitude, man. What was it? What was it? Money, cash, piles, gratitude, visualizing. Okay. One thing we got to fix is the ratio. The ratio of our attitude of gratitude versus complaining, right? Most people will spend 5 minutes with gratitude, and then they'll spend, how many minutes are in a day? 20, how many minutes are in a day? All right, I'll do it in seconds. They'll spend 300 seconds on gratitude, and then they'll spend 85,900 seconds complaining. Oh, good. 5 minutes or 1,435 minutes complaining. This is the ratio most people have, and they're wondering why life isn't working for them. You got to flip the ratio. In fact, just eliminate complaining. It's so weird, but here's one thing I did to eliminate complaining, because there's silly people on the road. So I'm in traffic, right? And I used to complain, and it wouldn't put anyone in a good mood, especially, Vanessa's in the car with me, and I'm like, look at this jerk. Who is this guy? What in the... And I'm just complaining, right? It doesn't help anybody. So traffic's the thing I found myself complaining in the most, and I'm trying to stay in gratitude, right? So here's my strategy. Maybe you'll like it, for traffic. Instead of saying, what an idiot, right? I simply, because there's a question, I'm confused. Why did they do this? I just say, who are these people? Who are these people? That's it. Now I'm not complaining. I'm not calling a name. I'm not judging. Who are these people? Who are these people that move into lanes without signaling? Right? And I'm just observing. No more complaining. Perfect. These people are perfect for moving in front of me, going slower. Who are these people that don't look before changing lanes? I stay out of complain mode. I stay in the gratitude mode. Oh, I'm so grateful for my brakes. I'm so grateful for my brakes and my tires, right? And it just brings it, it's such a different way. So Jeff says, where can we find the affirmation? Well, Jeff, if you scroll up, it's in the chat box here if you want to grab it. You could do that. The other thing is, I just Google Napoleon Hill self-confidence formula. So let's go back and start thinking about, let's say you got a team of IMAs, right? Just a handful of IMAs over here. Now remember what we talked about with the labels. If you think you have a bunch of unproductive, hard to train IMAs, blah, 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 it's, they're going to start acting that way, start living into that. But I start treating my IMAs like they're 5-star. I start treating them like they're independent. I start treating them like they make good decisions on their own. Right? I start treating them these different ways, and then they go and do it. So, I still want to supply the necessary support and everything for that. But some of your egos, so this is what happens. Some of you won't treat your IMAs like this because they're going to get 5-star before you, or they're going to make more money before you, or they're going to do more real estate before you. And so your ego doesn't want to allow that, so you don't treat them like the badass that they are. So you don't need a badass on your team, and so just It never ends up working like that. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? All right, so we got about 10 minutes before I gotta hop on the PAC call and steer this ship that we're on all together, steering. Are there any questions? You want to come off mute, type your question in, clarify something? It could be about what we talked about, or it could be about anything. But I know that a lot of what needs to be done today is following up. You've got to follow up with all of your guests that attended at the intensive this last week. Right, Heather Echeverria knocked it out of the park. Now it's your time to follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up. And remember, it's really pleasant to be followed up with. Right? As a customer, I like to be followed up with. When I'm buying something, people follow up with me. I like it. Instead of me having to reach out to them and wonder where they are and what's going on, they follow up with me. I like it. They get my money. You want to get other people's money? You got to follow up. Anthony, I don't think that's going to be in Helios. Just her actual classes are, not the intensive. Yep. So benefits of following up. You get paid. That's the only way to get paid, is by following up. It's what professionals do. If you're a professional, you will follow up. And guess what? Professionals get paid way more than amateurs. So you're going to start acting like a professional. You get treated like a professional. You get paid like a professional. It's following up is what you like. You like being followed up with. You like, if you were to wander into a big old store, you would like a tour guide, right? A personal shopper or something like that. Hey, I'm here to follow up with you.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, so following up with people. So I've invited people to events and they said they're interested. And then I can't get them to, or, they are never available, or they're not available to come to other events, right? So I'm just wondering how to categorize or put people in some kind of system where you don't necessarily call them all the time, but you're sending them information or something like that. Just a way to organize that.
One of the easiest ways to organize it, for me anyway, was just using my phone contacts, and I would just change the letter in front of the contact info that I have saved. Let me just pull this up and see if I can show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so I just typed in X here, and so these are all the X's. These are people I need to follow up with. They haven't been to something, right? And some people I don't even have their name. Their Denver phone number. Crap. So that's not very organized. Then I have my P's. Right, so P for prospects, depends on what city I'm in. If they've come to a house tour, I put in HT. If they've come to cash flow, I put in the CFs for cash flow, different games. I need to follow up. These are all the people I need to follow up with. So that's one way of staying organized with my leads and who needs to do what, where I'm at with them. So I don't know if that's what you were asking me, but that's
not really. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I had a coworker and I did the velocity banking presentation with her, and she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm paying this much in interest. We need to talk further, right?" And then ever since then, when I invite her to something, it's like, oh, we're going out of town. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're doing that. Right? So I'm just wondering, like, once you get to that kind of thing with people, what kind of follow-up are you doing with them?
Well, what do you think a professional would say? When you're following up, they say one thing, oh, I want this, but then their actions are no, 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 I'm not going to show up, I'm going to avoid. They say one thing and do another. What would a professional do, Sherry?
I would say, you know what, I don't think you're really serious about this right now. So I probably, a professional might not say that.
I'm on.
But I guess I'm a coworker, so I'd know her a little bit differently than that. So I might say something like, well, maybe right now you're not as serious about this as you say. So when you are, get back to me.
Okay. I like how you started out, but what if you ended with, and so since my time is incredibly important, I'm going to go talk to other people who respect their time and my time.
Okay.
Okay, that's one way of saying it. It's just being like, look, straight up, I am busy. Like, Sherry, you can't go home to your significant other and say, all right, honey, I spent all day making people feel good on the phone, right? That's not going to work. So the goal is not make them feel good, okay? The goal is, are you a yes or a no? Are you in the huddle or are you out the huddle? That's it. So you got to be that way with your guests, with your clients. So you go home, you can say, all right, honey, I got 2 people in the huddle. Or, hey, honey, everybody that I talked to today is out the huddle and start fresh tomorrow. Okay? You got to get down with your guests and say, look, man, this is my mindset is I got bills to pay. I got goals I got to catch up on. I got promises I'm behind on. I do not need to waste my damn time chasing you around. And you don't respect your time enough if you're letting me chase you around. So we're going to get something straight here. Time is most important. I want to give you the info so you can get the benefits I'm currently receiving. If not, don't waste my time. Now, of course, they're your friends, so you could be a little more loose with the language, but the point of all of the language is don't waste my time. I'm here to save you time. You're on a financial treadmill wasting your time. Don't waste my time. People pick up on that. And you can say it jokingly. You can say it all sorts of different ways. I mean, if they're your friends or your coworkers or your warm market, I'd goof around. All right, well, when you're ready to catch up on your promises to your friends and family, let me know. It just depends. But it really, Sherry, what it comes down to is, when you're following up and they drop off, they say, cool, I like it, but then they make excuses and drop off. You take a step back as a professional. Pump the brakes. Am I going to waste my time with you if I keep going down this route? Are you a time waster? If I'm a professional, I don't waste any time. And they're going to say right then and there, oh, you know what? You're right. This isn't for me. Now's not a good time. And their respect for you will go up. Or they'll say, you know what? I'm scared. I just need some help. The other thing, on top of everything I just said, Sherry, so I just all that. The other thing is, if they don't come to the meeting, bring the meeting to them. Right? Sometimes they're the type of customer who every Saturday they go out of town. I got people like that. I see them Monday through Friday in my buildings here and there. I see them and I'm like, hey, got this cool thing coming up this weekend. And they're like, great, me too. Because they're always doing something on the weekends. So for those kind of people, I said, great. Well, Tuesday morning, I'm going to meet you for coffee. And since you missed the meeting, I'll bring the meeting to you. They're great people. I know their credit cards will clear. So I'm going to follow up with them. But because they're the kind of person who every meeting, that I invite them to. Schedule conflict, right? They're blown away by velocity banking. I had them come over to my house, bring your dog, let's play. But they're never going to come to a Saturday thing because they're out doing other things. So I have to bring the meeting to them, and I sign them up in the lobby. I sign them up at the coffee shop. I sign them up at the sandwich place. I bring the meeting to them, and I do it with this professional manner, right? On time. That's at the end of the day, we can do all the professional claiming we want, but if we're not on time, it's not professional. Speaking of on time, I got to call with Bob Snyder. I got to hop on. So use that on time thing with your guests. Use that professionalness. Hey, I'm professional. I'm not going to waste my time. You better not be wasting my time. I'm not going to waste yours. Shall we move forward and put an appointment in the calendar? Okay, you guys are awesome. Have a fantastic Money Monday. There are plenty of people out there that need your help. So go and help them. Do your best. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Talk to you guys soon. See ya.